us how they continue to support their community. Owner of the Coffee Roast, Richie Pitt, is with us. Hi, Richard.
Good morning. Thank you very much for that amazing introduction.
Isolation and loneliness. A lot of people suffer from it. They live with it, and they don't tell anyone.
No, they don't. It's something that, as a society, we kind of take things on our shoulders, where we just move forward with it, and we're told to get on with it. But actually, that interaction with people, even if it's just once a week, is incredibly important. I mean, there are some people who do like to live alone, and they don't want any interaction with other people, and I understand that too. But most of us want that connection with the outside world, and through no fault of our own, don't actually get it. Yeah. So we combat the side of it where people aren't able to get out of the house purely because they feel, one, they can't afford to do it. We're in a park. The park itself is free, obviously. It's a public park.
I've said this, and for fear of boring people, I call parks free medicine.
Yeah.
The free medicine park.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, years and years ago, they were just called the lungs of the city, weren't they?
Exactly.
And it's a place where you can just go, you can take a deep breath, especially when you look at that view as well over the Mersey towards Liverpool. It's just an exceptional.
We are lucky.
Yeah, I say that to myself every time. It's just like, this is my office. This is brilliant.
It's not bad, is it? The bistro, the coffee shop in Vale Park. Tell us a bit about it. If people haven't been, 5 years in now, this, isn't it?
It's 5 years in. The Coffee Roast itself has actually been running. It was on Seaview Road in Liskeard, for those who don't know, for a very, very long time. Now, when we took it over in 2016, we had a lot of people coming in and go, we used to come in here with my grandparents, and the oldest was 1947, was the oldest that we actually know that people went in.
Wow.
Although because of the war, the first census of it was 1953.
Right.
So we've actually put Coffee Roast established 1950s because we haven't got any other sort of, any record of it being beforehand apart from people's accounts of it. So we took it over in 2016, but it was always an integral part of Liskeard. If you grew up in the 70s, 80s, 90s, going to the Coffee Roast of a Sunday, actually they used to roast their own coffees as well, so you'd smell that going right the way down Seaview Road.
Yeah. It's funny how it's come full circle though, isn't it? Because we are coffee conversationalists now.
Yeah, we
are.
are.
And that's what we do. You mean, coffee shops are open at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. People are in there, So it's kind of come full circle from those late 40s, 50s. The 70s and 80s kind of dwindled away, but now it's huge again.
It's massive, and again, the coffee shops are a perfect place to combat loneliness. People go just to sit down, have a cuppa, have a catch up. Everything's always better with a cup of tea, or in our case, a nice cup of coffee.
How did you manage to absorb the $7,000 as well? Because business is, you pay more for your gas, you pay more for your lecky, you pay more for your rates. As a business, you kind of the boot's put into you from all sides, isn't it?
Yeah, we don't make a profit. I mean, we are a limited company, but we run pretty much of a CIC is what we ran as, and we have for the last 5 years. We set it up as a limited company because that's all I knew.
Just remind us of a CIC.
So it's a community interest company.
Got you.
So we run pretty much as that, and any monies that we get in, anything extra after everyone's been paid, so we don't do volunteers or anything like that. Everyone who works for us gets paid, and then once they have, if there's any money left, then we put it through to our vouchers or to the schemes in which we're running. Now, we didn't do it last year because we didn't have a very good Christmas and a very good summer. But this year we've actually had an amazing June. The sun was out, and we were able to absorb it through that way. We don't know whether or not we'll make a loss because we're kind of hoping that the summer will be amazing as well, but it is what it is.
Why did you do it? Was there something you've always wanted to do?
I'm personally, I lean socialist at heart, so I've always helped people. We've been helped as a family when we were younger as well. There was 5 of us children growing up. Mum and dad split up, but we're not the only ones that have. So, we got a lot of help when we were younger. A lot of friends, a lot of family helped us out. So when we actually got the Coffee Roast itself, we actually started off with the likes of pizza nights. So we were actually making pizzas from scratch, getting only like 6 or 7 children in with their parents, making it with the flour and the dough and the yeast. It was just brilliant. It was really, really nice. And they'd make the pizza, and then we'd have fun and games. But when we got to the park, it was a different kind of fish.
Why was it different?
It was busy. When you actually got just a single shop on Seaview Road, although we were busy at times, it was only during those lunchtime periods when people wanted to eat.
You could plan.
And it was slow for the rest of it. But in the park, especially when it's sunny, it is non-stop, and is a little different, and we had to change our ethos. We had to change the way we did food. We had to change the way that we actually worked with the community. But in all fairness, the groundwork was already there. You've got Sue and Major Mace, who actually have the little cottage in Vale Park, and they started off the Black Pearl Pirates. And if you've ever been over to the Wallasey side of it as well, the Vale Park, they had the Black Pearl. Now it has been washed away. It's not washed away 2 or 3 years
It's not coming back either, is it?
It's not. No, there was just too much. But hopefully, there's plans for Vale Park if we can run it through the council and we get all of the risk assessments correct.
Yeah,
which I'm sure we will.
Well,
but it's just an amazing place, and Sue and Major, as well as the Black Pearl Pirates, do an amazing job. So they laid the foundations of people being there. What we've done is we've come in and gone, do you know what? The people are here, and we know within schools, we know within the local community, especially when COVID hit, we stopped for 5 weeks.
You must have got into a panic then, did you?
It was difficult. Don't get us wrong. We stayed open for a couple of days after everyone was panicking. We kind of got a lot of flack on social media to start off with. You shouldn't be open, encouraging people to come around, and a few people were right. They were right about it. Some people are wrong about it, and we decided at that point, because the government didn't have a clear plan, because no one did. We thought, you know what, we'll just close. So we closed, and then after 5 weeks, people still wanted their rent, and people still wanted their bills. So we had to reopen, but we reopened based on 5 weeks of what the government had said: socially distancing, making sure that you're not touching, making sure that you're doing this. And we worked with just 3 people in the cafe.
You're playing catch up then, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's the thing. How important are places like yours to the community? Because coffee shops 10 a penny and go wherever you want. But do you feel as though customers go, I know what they do there, so I'm going to get a coffee there?
There are some customers that know what we do, but we do get a lot of day trippers. So especially since the Seacombe Ferry Terminal reopened again, so it's slightly busier, which was great.
And that's going to get even bigger, isn't it? The plans for that are incredible.
Absolutely incredible. I can't wait for it, to be fair. The summer months as well, people come. But to answer your question, not a lot of people know what we do. We have kept it a little bit quiet, and actually I've talked to Justin Hopper about it from La Vida Liverpool. And so he's kind of ran with this and gone, right, well, you should be telling everybody. But
is there a reason why you kind of kept it under your hat a bit?
We kind of community, so it's I'm still from the position where if you have to shout about it, it's not really doing any sort of charity work, if you will. But in saying that, it's the old adjective, isn't it? If a man washes the dishes and a woman's not there to see him wash it, has he really washed the dishes? So it's
dangerous crowd.
I'm sorry, but it's but most of us men, it's one of those. I think if people don't see it, then they're not going to see the work that happens.
Yeah.
So reluctantly, but I think the right thing to do is to now start talking about what we're doing.
If the bigger picture is that more people in the community benefit in the right ways, what's wrong with that?
Yeah, again, there's nothing wrong with it, and I suppose we were quite tentative because we are. It's only me and Hazel, really, and our team of people that work with us.
Sorry, who's Hazel?
Hazel's my partner.
Okay.
So we've got 3 children. So we've got a 10, 8, and a 2-year-old. 2-year-old caught us unaware in the pandemic, but she's brilliant, Ronan, or Fidget as we call her. So we've actually got now Ronan's Roasty Retreats.
Ronan's Roasty Retreats.
And that is the social hub that we've set up with so it's basically the arm of the charity side and the community side that we do.
And do you do the breakfast club thing as well?
Yes.
Tell us about the breakfast club.
Well, we got money, so the Cheshire Freemasons are absolutely brilliant. They helped us out during the pandemic. Without them, we wouldn't have been able to deliver the 3,500 meals that we did over the pandemic, and that was fish and chips every Friday. And we had 6 volunteers, all Freemasons, came in, gave their time, and they took 6 meals, and they went to the same people every single week for nearly a year and a half. So 3,500 meals over that period of time. That also was one, to give people food, and also to tackle that social isolation as well, because the person that they spoke to possibly was the only person that they'd spoken to at that point in the week. So we again got a bit more funding from the Freemasons this time round, again because we set up we actually set up an evening. It was 2 evenings that we set up. It was a games night, and also it was a crafts night. and it was basically to get people out, get people in, playing games, doing crafts, and we fed them, so we just fed them for free.
Mate, there's not enough hours in the day. Where are you getting the energy from? You've got 3 kids, one's 2, did you say?
It wants to,
Whoa.
yeah. Well, the beautiful thing about having your own business and having something like that is it's a park. You know, we're able to take them in after school. They're able to go into our tea room. They're able to go to the park. You know, so it is really good, and we've got good people around us as well. You've got obviously myself. You've got Hazel. You've got you know, our team as well, and they're absolutely brilliant. So yes, it's difficult, of course it is, but it's worthwhile.
It's rewarding,
yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah, massively.
So where do you see? We're going to finish in a minute. So where do you see the next 5 years then?
So, well, if we were able to be there for
the
next
little one
5
will be
years,
7. The little one will be 7.
Well, again, in the next 5, if we're still there in the next 5 years, we'll be absolutely amazing. So, again, moving on, we'll still do all of our charity work as well. The Breakfast Club, if we touch back on that, because I kind of skirted around it, we stop it during the summer. We stop those things during the summer because it's incredibly busy. But what we do is replace that with our school voucher scheme.
Right.
Now, you mentioned earlier on that we gave out £7,200 worth of vouchers. We've actually given out £8,000 this time round.
Wow.
So we've done 12 schools within the Wallasey area. And we've given 5 families £120 worth of vouchers that they can come each week's colour-coded, £20 a week. They come in, no questions asked, because we want them out. It's not for someone who has not got anything. It's to make sure that people are going out, enjoying the open space, and because we do well, it's just our way of giving back.
All right. Where can we find out more about what you do?
Again, if you go onto our Facebook page as well, so you've got the Vale House Facebook page, or the Coffee Roast at Vale House. We've also got Ronan's Roasty Retreats, so that's on the Facebook page as well. Give that a little look at. And watch this space for more things coming.
Good to see you. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much for having us in.
Tell us what you do, and we'll meet again. I'll pop over for a very weak latte.
One shot latte coming your way.
Yeah, you know when you're making someone a 1-shot latte like made you go, I don't know why they even bother.
Do you know what? There is actually. I went to.
It's just hot milk.
No, do you know what? I went to Nottingham, and there was a thing on the board. It said, "Why bother?" And it was a skinny decaf 1-shot latte, and it was called a Why Bother.
Oh, brilliant!
Absolutely brilliant.
I can't do a decaf, but I'll do all of the other stuff. Yeah, I'll pop in and can you just do me a Why Bother? I'll love it. Richard, really good to meet you. I'll shake your hand. Thanks for everything you do.
Thank you very much for having me on.
Welcome.
Take care.